Good morning, everybody. This is Saturday morning, October 28th. Last weekend in October, it has really flown by this month.
It really has.
And we have had a blast bringing y'all fall leaf updates every week. That's one of our favorite activities in the world to do, is look at fall leaves. I think it's pretty, the changing of the colors. I don't know too many people that don't like fall. So we've enjoyed going each week, bringing you updates of where the color's at. Again, starting off very high early in the month and then working its way down into the lower elevations. Now, today we're going to be going to at least one high elevation area in the hopes that it's past peak there, but we're going to look down on a lot of color. I'm not going to tell you where that's at just yet, but we're going to make 3 stops today, Lord willing. Our first one, we are traveling right now up Highway 178 in upstate South Carolina. We've never gone fall leaf looking in South Carolina. The reason we're doing that today, we stayed in Greenville last night. We are going to take in another state high point. We have, actually, I was figuring it up, we have only been to 3 state highest points. Mount Mitchell in North Carolina, Clingman's Dome, Tennessee, and Brasstown Ball, Georgia. Today we're going to pick up a 4th one. We are going to
Sassafras Mountain.
Sassafras Mountain in South Carolina, which tops out about 3,560 feet. It's kind of it's the lowest of the high points we've been to, but it's still pretty up through here. So we're going to turn the camera around just a minute. We are starting to climb a little bit in altitude. They say this is a really windy road. And from there, we're going to enter North Carolina and bring you 2 places that I'm very excited to see for the first time myself, but I've been watching a lot of videos on them. So very, very excited about those. But while we're this close to South Carolina's high point, we want to take that in as well. That is Sassafras Mountain. So we are how far away from it?
It is showing
22 minutes?
20 minutes, 10 miles.
I'm sorry, 20 minutes, 10 miles. And it's supposed to be a windy and curvy 10 miles. But we are here in upstate South Carolina, so go with us. Alright, so here we are driving up 178 in South Carolina, starting to ascend ever so slightly. But we should really start to climb here in just a few minutes. We're again about 18 minutes away now. And we've never been to this state high point. It looks like they have a really nice observation area up there. Another place we were going to try to go to today is called Pretty Place, South Carolina. And you just Google that one. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a chapel that sits overlooking the South Carolina mountains. And it's a great place to watch sunrises. Unfortunately, sometimes it's booked up for like special events like weddings, and today's one of those days. So before you decide to go to Pretty Place, you do want to check the schedule and see if you're going to be able to see it. It's open to the public except for when somebody has it booked, and unfortunately today is one of those days, so we're not going to get to take that in. Alright, here we go. It is starting to get very windy and curvy now. So as we make our ascent up to the top. South Carolina is not somewhere you typically think of for mountains, but they do have a few. They do have a few in the extreme northwest part of the state. Most of the state is not mountainous, but the northwestern part is. We're 1.5 miles away from the highest point in South Carolina. We actually just crossed into North Carolina briefly, and now we have to cross back into South Carolina. So just under or over a mile now, we're going to be at the highest point in the state of South Carolina. Now, folks, I want y'all to see what we got to see driving up here. This is actually a very beautiful drive in the fall. I don't know that I'd be as impressed with that curvy, windy road any other time of year, but we're here about a little bit after 10 a.m. Sun shining through the leaves. It looks like the woods are on fire up here.
It's beautiful.
This is very, very nice, very pretty. So anyway, we are at the parking area for Sassafras Mountain. Then we walk up to the overlook, but it's really pretty here. Prettier than I actually thought it would be. Okay, so there are a number of trails that you can access from here as well. So this is the parking area to your left. And there's where we have to walk. The gate is closed. It actually, I guess this is as far as you can drive up, and the rest is walk up. The entry road closed in inclement weather. Beautiful weather today, though. So you cannot rollerblade up here. In case anybody had it in mind to do that, and don't leave your skateboard at home too. So here's the path up. So you cannot rollerblade up here. In case anybody had it in mind to do that, and don't leave your skateboard at home too. So here's the path up. Alright, here is the observation point. Pretty nice deck they've got built here. So you walk up these steps, and apparently, depending on which state you want to be in when you do it, you can take your pick, right or left. I guess we'll walk up the North Carolina side, and then we'll come down the South Carolina side. So the South Carolina high point is right on the state line. Alright, so here we got the state of South Carolina. And I love it when a place puts plaques up like this that are in good shape, unlike the ones at Clingman's Dome that can barely be read anymore. Tells you what you're looking at. So we are at the coolest place in South Carolina. That's because it's the highest place in South Carolina. Now there's Caesar's Head over, let's see, trying to see which one it is. We actually went up there a couple of years back.
Where's it showing?
2018. We went up to Caesar's Head State Park. Some really neat rock formations there. We hiked out to Ravencliff Falls. That was a really neat waterfall. Alright, so we are looking out now towards Caesar's Head State Park. And again, I do encourage you to visit that area if you're in the upstate of South Carolina. Caesar's Head is really pretty. Some neat rocks, some good hikes from there, especially Ravencliff Falls. So let's look at some of the distant scenery here. Now, some of y'all have remarked about my peak identification in other videos. So I have a guess on one now. And I promise y'all, on my word, I have not been over to the plaque yet to see if I'm right. But I'm going to take a guess on one. We're going to see if I'm right. We're going to go out in the distance to that pointed mountain, the highest one you see in the, let me zoom up a little bit. Something's going on in the valley below us because we hear somebody with a microphone. So, out in the distance there's a pointed mountain sticking straight up. I'm going to try to identify that as Mount Pisgah. So let's walk over here to the plaque. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to leave it in the video either way. Well, folks, I believe I got it. Mount Pisgah, North Carolina. It has a very distinct look to it. You are looking back now into North Carolina. Obviously, North Carolina's mountains are higher than South Carolina's. But let me give you some looks at these valleys here. And over here, in the distance, I believe we are looking at Whiteside Mountain, North Carolina. And the other one over here, I'm honestly not sure about. Possibly, may be wrong on this one. I'm going to tell you Ravenbald, Georgia. But we'll see. Okay, folks, I am 3 for 3. I said that one flat top one was Whiteside. It is. And then I said the one out there in the distance was Ravenbald. That was the one I wasn't sure about, but I nailed it. So, y'all have probably noticed by now, peak identification is a hobby of mine. So let me see if I can zoom up on Ravenbald. We actually hiked up there, what, was that a year ago? 2 years ago. 2 years ago in October. Check out that video. Actually, I'm sorry, that was in November. That was after Black Friday.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, I'm way up above you. And I do not see when I'm looking on the LCD here, but I believe I'm zooming up on Ravenbald there. Yeah, we hiked to the top of that 2 years ago in November. So check that video out as well. That was a good hike. It wasn't very hard, and you got some amazing views.
Yeah.
So we're looking down now on what's called the Foothills Trail, and it just goes out there. It looks like to that little, well, no, it goes further than that, but it looks like there's a little bluff out there. But look at these magnificent colors, folks. Again, the colors are making their way down now into the lower elevations into the month. We're going to ask Miss Sassafras here what she thinks. I mean, Miss Shaughnessy, I should say, what she thinks of Sassafras Mountain.
Well, fall's definitely the time to do it, I would say.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and you can see so far.
So again, you're looking into North Carolina. Yeah, you do. You have a 360 panorama looking into North Carolina, panning over towards North Georgia. I can see Lake Jockasee down there in the, let me move over to it a little bit more in the distance. And upstate South Carolina. We should get these signs so you can kind of see for yourself what you're looking at. So the Cherokee called this the Great Blue Hills of God. So from here you can actually see all the way to Walhalla, South Carolina, which is right on Lake Hartwell on the Georgia border. Then you can see into Georgia, Ravenbald, Whiteside Mountain, Highlands, North Carolina. And again, here's what you can see from here. And I promise y'all, when I'm guessing these mountains, I have not looked at the plaques yet, because I like to challenge myself.
Yes, and it was like they had kind of come clean on it. Yeah, they've been dating for a while.
So these are the peaks back down into South Carolina that you can see.
So Alex has rather large hands.
So let me give you one more pan around, because we've got 3 places to go today. We want to go ahead and get started with that, but just to let you see some of the upcountry of the state of South Carolina. This is not what people envision when they think of South Carolina. They usually think of Myrtle Beach or Charleston, maybe Columbia. But the northwest corner of the state is actually quite impressive. And just for anybody that asks or wants to know, yes, it is handicap accessible. So you can actually come right up to the top of the observation deck here. So, I would caution though, if you have a motorized wheelchair, going down is steep even though it's paved, so you would definitely not want to.
Be careful.
Yeah. Alright folks, we're walking down now. We're going to walk back down to the car. Again, give your impressions of this area.
Well, I mean, I think it's beautiful. Actually, we picked a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Clear, the leaves are beautiful. I think they said, or I had read, it's only like 0.2 up here, but I don't even know if it's that, but it's kind of
Yeah,
steep.
it's not. It is steep, but it's not long.
paved.
I mean, it's very doable if you're in
Yeah.
any kind of. I mean, obviously we're not marathon runners, but we had no trouble at all. I want to say I'm much more impressed than I thought I'd be. I just kind of wanted to get another state high point in to say I'd been here. Didn't think it was going to be nearly as impressive as it is. The view up here is outstanding.
Yes.
That's about the best word that I would know to describe it. Would just be outstanding, very
Yep.
expansive. You can see 3 states.
Yep.
I would recommend it if you're anywhere in upstate South Carolina. It's an hour and 5 minutes from Greenville. If you're in Greenville, you got some time, you want to do
Definitely
this,
do it, yeah.
especially in the fall.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, the fall, it's absolutely, this is the best time I could have picked to have done it.
Perfect.
So actually I didn't notice this before we started up the paved path. I told you at the top it was handicap accessible, but right here is a specific trail that is disability access, and that's right to the left of the parking area. It's right here next to the bathrooms. Okay, so we're now on to our next destination after Sassafras Mountain, South Carolina. We are now near the town of Cashiers, North Carolina. Some people say Cashiers. I'm going to pronounce it the way it's spelled. Cashiers, North Carolina. Sits about 3,400 feet above sea level, and some very pretty color right through here. We are headed next to a place called Whitewater Falls, which is the highest waterfall east of the Rocky Mountains, anywhere in the eastern United States. This is the tallest waterfall. We've watched videos on this, looked at pictures, cannot wait to see it. Don't know how full it's going to be, but
It looks beautiful.
yeah, the upper falls is in North Carolina, and it plummets over 400 feet downhill. And then the lower falls is in South Carolina. We're not going to be seeing the lower ones. I think you have to get to those from a separate road. So anyway, we're going to be doing the North Carolina Whitewater Falls today. And again, it is the highest waterfall east of the Rocky Mountains. So we're looking forward to seeing that. Okay, we are here at the Whitewater Falls viewing area. It is a half a mile hike from here. There is a little area right here where you pay your fee. It's $3 per vehicle or $1 per person if you have over 7 passengers. So we actually had a $20 bill, and that was the smallest we had. So we were able to find $3 worth of change around. So here's where you deposit your fee at. And this is where you begin the walk to view Whitewater Falls. Looking forward to this. According to the videos we've seen, it's a beautiful, beautiful waterfall. Okay, so right here at the beginning of the pathway to the falls, there are several picnic tables in some shady spots. And so if you want to bring a picnic lunch, you can certainly do that here. It looks like I see 5 picnic tables just right here that I'm looking at now. So we're going to begin the walk up to the falls now. Here we got some interesting color fall leaves on a tree. I'll show you some of them on the ground too. They're almost like a deep crimson with yellow veins. That's kind of a different, it's obviously a maple of some sort. Just want to pause to enjoy the view on the walk to the falls. Alright folks, here's the first view of Whitewater Falls. 411 feet cascade. Actually, move over to the left a little bit and you can actually see the lower cascades much better. Again, this is the highest waterfall east of the Rocky Mountains. It plummets 411 feet down the side of the mountain. All right, just so you'll know, you can hike down these stairs to the right of the platform, and that's the Foothills Trail, but there are no waterfall views.
Yep.
So your best view is right here, walking down the 150 some steps.
Not bad at all.
No, not bad. Alright, just got back in the van from Whitewater Falls. It's a little bit on before you get to Cashiers on Highway 64 between Rosman and Cashiers. And I'm going to let you start and tell me what you thought of Whitewater Falls.
Well, I thought it was really pretty. I mean, we picked an excellent day.
Yeah.
The leaves
very unseasonably warm today.
Yes, it is very warm, but the leaves are beautiful. It's clear. It's just a paved walkway. So I guess you could say it's, you know, handicap accessible. I noticed they did have some parking spaces. To the first platform where we got the first videos and stuff from, so you can get there. I mean, then there's a 150 plus, 160, I don't know how many
steps. Yeah, you
stairs.
couldn't go down there. But.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting the same view. The other one's just slightly closer, but I mean, it's still just as good. A lot of people, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
So, would it be worth seeing again? Would you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, the paved path, it says half a mile. I don't think it's that far.
No.
It didn't seem like it to me. Klingman's Dome's half mile. Now that's a tough walk. This is just moderately steep,
Yeah,
not hard at all.
Not bad.
I'll tell you the hardest part of this one, the going down the steps is fine. It's walking back up those steps. That's the tough part.
Yeah.
It's like she said, between 150 and 160 steps. I think this, if you go down the steps, I think that's a better view. You are closer, and you're looking just to me. I think the first view that you come to on the path, you're looking more above it.
Yeah, you are.
And if you go down those steps, you're kind of looking more straight at it. And I personally prefer that view. If you're here and you can go down those steps, do it.
That would be the way to do it.
Yeah, just understand that going back up those steps is a different matter than going down them. So, kind of fun. I mean, the leaves, you couldn't ask for it to be any prettier, the leaves.
Oh, yeah.
The waterfall wasn't as full as I would like to have seen it. That's just because it's just not had an abundance of rain around here lately. But if those falls were full, that would be a sight to behold. And
yeah.
it is anyway. So, yeah, coming back down, kind of funny. It's a dog-friendly trail. Let me go ahead and let you know that. A lot of people have their dogs.
Yeah.
So, we got our 2 Yorkies. And we see coming up the trail a woman with a Yorkie on the leash. And I think it's the first time we've ever had somebody with a Yorkie look at our dog and say, "What kind of dogs you got?" I don't know what to tell you. It's the same kind you got, just a different color. Hers was more of a gray.
Yeah, hers was like
gray
silver.
Yeah, silver and white.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're literally identical dogs. And she looked at us with all serious, she wasn't joking. She said, what kind of dog do you have? I said, well, it's a Yorkie too. She said, oh, its nose looks different. I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't see it, but okay.
I didn't see it. But I think we've had a lot of people ask, but I've never had anybody with a Yorkie not know what a Yorkie looks like.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a new one. But anyway, we're going to head to our 3rd destination today. Go ahead and say it. Whiteside Mountain, just outside of Highlands, North Carolina. Seen a ton of videos on this place. We've never been to the top. We've driven by it. We're going to the top. And as it would be a lady we met on the platform. Her and her husband had just come from there like 2 days ago.
Yeah, and
they were showing
us
us pictures, which is all the more excited we are to get to it.
Yes.
So right now we are headed to Whiteside Mountain. We are going to hike to the top, and I think we're going to be looking at a lot of beautiful color from up there. So let's head on over. Alright guys, we're at our 3rd and final stop today. We are going to make the ascent up 4,930 foot Whiteside Mountain here between Cashiers and Highlands, North Carolina. So we are looking for some magnificent views from the top. If it's anything like what we think it's going to be, I think you're going to enjoy this, so stay with us. Okay, so the trail starts off with these steps here. Still a little out of breath, but they're not near as bad as the steps back at the waterfall. And not near as many of them. So we're going to go to the left. It is a loop trail. So here we go. Okay, so we are on the trail still, and it's just a steep and moderate ascent. It's pretty straight so far. We haven't had one switchback. There is a place you could have gone to the right that looked a lot steeper and rockier. It said it was the more difficult way, so I think we're probably taking the longer way. It's supposed to be a 1.9 in and out trail, so I think we're going to probably be doing a little bit more than that since we took the less steep route up there. Anyway, here's the trail. Yeah.
If it was more clear, but you can tell those hillsides are pretty.
Yeah, very pretty. Okay, so just be aware when you get towards the top, the trail becomes very narrow and there's a barricade here, and that's something that's very needed so you don't fall to your death, because you can do it from up here, can't you?
Yes, you sure can.
That is a sheer drop-off, folks. The Whiteside Mountain Loop Trail is a must-do if you are in the Highlands or Cashiers area of southwestern North Carolina. You can take the trail either to the left or to the right as it loops around, and you will get the same views no matter which way you take. If you take the trail to the left, it is more straight and a more steady but moderate incline, whereas if you go to the right, it is much steeper. But either way, you will get the same views. This is something that we believe you must do if you are in this area, and we highly recommend it. In a moment, I will be showing you some clips of the sheer face of the mountain, and I believe you will agree that it is most impressive. It is beautiful in the fall, and that is the time that we picked to do it for this very reason. Folks, what this trail does, it basically just scales the top of the mountain, and there's different open spots where you can see, and just every spot provides a unique look. Just look at that, folks, that sheer rock face of Whiteside Mountain. Just beautiful, beautiful color. Try to get a little closer to that. By the way, we are going to be doing a review of our new camcorder. That's what you're seeing right now. Our other little camera is really good, takes good video. It just doesn't zoom well. This does. This can bring things a lot closer. So you see these cables right here, and this barricade to keep you from falling over. There's another one down there. Neat little story here. You can pause your TV if you want to read this, but this is kind of interesting. So somebody was actually had fallen from here and was dangling by their feet in a rhododendron bush over the valley.
I can't imagine.
I cannot imagine either. Okay, Shaughnessy wants to go down to that overlook. Just so you'll know, if you fall, I'm not sending a search and rescue.
There is a fence over here. That's the only reason I'm doing it.
All right.
Got to get down in between them rocks to get down there.
That's the next one.
Okay, so this little lower overlook here is not for the faint of heart. Very narrow.
Oh my.
And that's about as much on the ledge as you can get.
That is awesome.
Hope I don't fall. That wasn't funny.
What?
so we're making our descent now down the second half of the loop trail. So what do you think of Whiteside Mountain? First visit?
Well, I definitely will say the fall's the time to do this. I mean, it's beautiful. You got a beautiful view, but just to look down into all that beautiful color,
Yeah.
very nice.
So let me ask you again, what do you think of Whiteside Mountain?
I like it.
You like it? Would you do it again?
I would do it again, and I would recommend it.
Okay. Pierre. You having a good hike, buddy?
Said he's enjoyed all his pet-friendly activities today.
And hopefully that means they'll sleep going home.
Yes.
Okay. That is the peaceful sound of nature right there. You hear that?
I do.
We are going back down the other side of Whiteside Mountain now. This trail coming down is much more rugged. It's a little slick in some spots because of the leaves that have fallen on the ground. Have to be really careful with your footing. You can go up this way. I think if I did it again, I would go up this way, although it is more difficult.
It is more difficult.
The way we went up the left side of the mountain, it was just a long, straight ascent. Yeah. And coming back down, it's a little bit more rugged. Folks, I'm sorry, I just can't get enough of this forest.
There's a tree beside of you.
It's just glowing. Huh?
That tree right there. Look at that. Hollow like that.
Oh yeah. Like underneath there. Little tunnel for the dogs to go through. Okay, now we have now intersected back with the trail. This is the way we went up, the long straight way. So when you see this off to the right, if you want to go up the way we just went down, look for this little marker here. Tells you it's more difficult. And that's the way we just descended. This is kind of what it looks like pretty much all the way. Now, anytime you're hiking in the woods in the fall when there's a lot of leaves on the ground, it can be a little bit challenging to keep your footing, so be aware of that. All right, so we've gotten back on Highway 64. We are on the Macon and Jackson County lines, and let me go ahead and tell you what we're doing here now. We have parked on the side of the road, and you see all those people standing up there. Don't know if we're going to get to see it because there's a cloud cover, but there's something. I'm going to let Chauncey take it because she's done some research on this.
Well,
she's actually the reason we're here doing this part.
the reason being is just because just scrolling Facebook, I came across, and hold on, I took a screenshot of it. It's the North Carolina mountain towns of Cashiers, Cherokee, Dillsboro, and Silva. It says it's that time of year. The shadow of the bear will begin appearing on Whiteside Mountain between now and early November, usually between 5:30 and 6 p.m. It says, watch as it slowly evolves as the sun descends, starting as a small dark shadow before growing larger. And then it tells us that we can view it here on Highway 64. It's Roads Big View Overlook.
What that basically means is the angle of the sun in October and November as it's going down between what time again?
5:30 and 6.
Okay. It's supposed to cast a shadow off Whiteside Mountain that looks like a bear shadow.
I don't have a picture.
Oh, you don't?
I just have a screenshot of the directions here.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't sure exactly.
So we got a cloud cover. There is a little bit of sun as well, so we don't know. But we're going to stick around and see if we see a bear's shadow here in a little bit. May see it, may not. Actually found a screenshot of what we're hoping to see, but you can see why that's called Shadow of the Bear. It sure looks like a bear. So that's what we're hoping to see tonight. That only occurs in the fall. Alright, that is where the shadow of the bear is supposed to come, but I just don't think it's going to show up today. Still a neat shot.
Okay, well, we ended there at the, what is that called? The Rhodes Overlook.
Yeah.
That phenomenon we were just telling you about, the shadow of the bear, when the sun starts to go down behind Whiteside Mountain, it casts a shadow that looks like a bear. So there's probably 50 people standing out there
there's a
looking
lot of
for it.
people. Yeah.
And too much cloud cover. No bear showed up today. So a little disappointed, but my goodness, what a day we've had. So
Yeah, and we've got to see pictures of what it looks like, so it's
yeah,
not like we...
we'll definitely come back again. So we'll give you a quick closeout, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around. We're now on Highway 64, past Whiteside Mountain, heading over to Highlands, North Carolina. Now, Highlands used to be the highest elevation town east of the Mississippi River before Beach Mountain incorporated. Highlands sits at an elevation of 4,118 feet above sea level, and that's the way we're heading now. So as soon as we talk for a minute, we're going to turn the camera around, just let you enjoy the ride through Highlands. That's how we'll end this video.
Because the leaves are absolutely beautiful.
Stunning. It's almost 6 o'clock now. It's going to start getting darker. So we're heading to Highlands, then down into Dillard, Georgia. We're going to have supper at the Dillard House. Separate review there. That's a great family-style southern cooking place in the North Georgia mountains to eat. We've been there, well, just once, but we're going back. So anyway, and plan to be back again next month. So we got some plans, Black Friday weekend back in this same area. So, but let's give our thoughts of today. Started off at...
I'll go first.
You're right.
I knew you were going to say it. So.
Why don't you just tell me to shut up?
I do a little different today. So anyway, I don't remember how we even started talking about coming here for the fall, but I remember I started kind of looking online once he told me about, coming last weekend. Looked like a beautiful place. The hike was just moderate, so it's not super hard or anything unless you
Which
go...
one you talking about?
Going up Whiteside Mountain.
Well, tell in order what we did. We started Sassafras.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It seemed like 3 days ago, but anyway.
It does. Okay, well, Sassafras Mountain, well, we did kind of do a closeout there.
Yeah, we did. That's true.
It was beautiful. It was a very, scenic drive up there, very curvy. Quick little walk to the top. It was paved all the way. You had an excellent view. Good time to do it is in the fall. So.
Worth seeing,
Yes,
most definitely. And
it was.
You're getting out of the video.
Oh, am I? I'm
Yeah.
trying to lean over. Whitewater Falls, next stop. That was an easy hike as well. Also a paved trail to the first overlook, so anyone can get up there to that. Looking down on the falls, beautiful. We got to see some beautiful color. We did go down the stairs to get a little bit of a closer view of it. Wonderful. Very crowded. Wonderful. Okay, now to Whiteside. Whiteside Mountain. I was very excited about this today. The trail that we took, it's a loop trail. It was moderately difficult. If you had gone to the right, it would have been a lot harder, but still a very good trail. Beautiful views. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. So there's different places that you can get views, looking down the rocks and stuff like that. Some of them are just straight down. I did go in between those rocks, and I actually got a little vertigo there, looking straight down, a little dizzy, but definitely worth it. If you are in this area, I would definitely see all those places. We were able to do it in a day. We started
We started in Greenville, South Carolina this morning.
we left there, it was a little after 9.
We went to Trader Joe's.
I'm saying once we got our gas and snacks, it was after 9, and right now it's not even quite 6 o'clock, and we were able to see everything, weren't rushed, able to enjoy it. Great day.
Okay.
Loving the leaves.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to really add too much more to what she said. Sassafras Mountain, definitely worth seeing. It's the high point in South Carolina. It's by no means the highest point in the Blue Ridge Mountains, but the views would rival probably up there in the top, at least top 10 that I've ever seen. Views up there are great. So you can still see 3 states from there, North and South Carolina, which it straddles the state line, and then you can see Georgia. So then we left there, went to Whitewater Falls. That in the fall time, the only way that could have been better is if it had been a little more full. Other than that, that was magnificent.
It was.
See, 411-foot cascade. And then Whiteside Mountain. Yeah, it's a loop trail. We went up to the left it basically just stays straight for the longest time. And it's just like a constant, moderate ascent. It's not anything you can't do if you're in reasonable shape. Once you can make that switch back to the right and start going up the top, there are some really tall step downs. You want to be careful. And then it's very narrow as you're going across the ridge, very narrow.
Yeah.
There are cables and fences. Just, as long as you use common sense, you'll be fine.
Stay on the trail.
Yeah, don't, you always hear the famous redneck last words are "watch this."
Yeah.
Just don't get up there and do stuff like that. We're just now coming into Highlands. I was going to turn that around. I wanted to get that sign actually. It said elevation 4,118 feet. So anyway, here's what I'm going to say. Whiteside Mountain is amazing.
It is.
We hit it. I planned it we were talking about doing it 2 weeks ago, and I said no. Let's wait until it's past peak on the ridge and the colors are in the valley. I am so glad we did that.
That was a very good idea.
So this is our 4th fall foliage update of the month. Which one would you put at the top? How would you rank today's with the 3 we've done? We started off East Tennessee, Western North Carolina. That was the first one. Then Mount Mitchell, Craggy Gardens area. Then last week was West Jefferson area.
So I would put today actually as the best, in my opinion.
Not even close.
Yeah, that would be mine. And then I think last Friday when we actually drove up into, Maggie Valley, Cherokee, Bryson City, it was kind of a rainy, sun did come out day, but it was still some beautiful color. So that'd probably be my second favorite. But yeah, today was just beautiful all around.
And Max Patch is typically my favorite fall drive, maybe yours too. But I was disappointed last week in Max Patch. The colors were just not what they usually are. Today more than made up for that.
Oh yeah.
I'll just be honest with you, that walk across Whiteside Mountain was one of the prettiest places I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I haven't put together this video yet. I have not edited it, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, I think this is one of the most scenic videos we've ever put together. I thought my drone video of the northeast coast of Florida that we did back in August was really great. There at the Matanzas Inlet, that's just, if you haven't watched that yet, you need to watch that. That's beautiful. But I think when we get this video up, I hope I'm not disappointed when I start the edit process. I think this is one of the prettiest videos we're ever going to have. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it. If you do, like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And at this time, I'm just going to turn the camera around and record going through Highlands and down the mountain.
Yep.
So thank you for watching, and God bless. Alright, so we are coming into the little town of Highlands, North Carolina now. It does not look the way I remember it. We were here probably, I want to say 7 years ago last time. Alright, so now we're going through the main little district of Highlands. One of the draws of Highlands is the beautiful summer weather. It's always cool up here. Even on the hottest summer days in the valley, it rarely ever gets out of the 70s here, sometimes not even the 60s during the day in the summer. So if it's 95 in the valley, head to Highlands, it's going to be about 75 at best. So, but here it is.
There's a lot of little just shops and stuff too. I saw cute ones over there to the left.
Yeah, we've been in that. I would have put it on this side of the road though, I guess my memories.
A little restaurant up there. It's got outdoor seating on the top.
What's it called?
Midpoint.
They got a Southern Spice and Tea Exchange. An Elevation. It's high fashion for women. So yes, this is the little town of Highlands. We were pricing motel rooms. We are coming back to Highlands, Lord willing. And I say Lord willing because the Bible says you're supposed to say that, because you're not supposed to presume anything about being here. But our plan, if we're alive and well, is to come back here on Black Friday, and on Saturday evening they're going to have like a bluegrass festival with Christmas hymns, and they're going to light the town up. So
that'll be nice.
Yeah, we've never been here at Christmas. We did some North Carolina Christmas town tours last year. I don't think anything's going to top McAdenville. That's Christmas Town, USA. But we're going to see what Highlands has to offer. And with the elevation, we're hoping for some really cold weather, maybe some snow.
Maybe some snow.
That's still going to be a little bit early for anything accumulating, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so we're going to take a left here. That was Highlands. We're going to take a left here and head down to Dillard, Georgia, and to the Dillard House. So thank y'all for watching again, and like and subscribe,
And find and follow us on Facebook.
and thank you for watching.